I'm sitting here with the brand new Too Faced Peaches and Cream collection in front of me, and I was pretty selective about what I purchased from this collection to review and swatch for you guys. I actually was not planning on picking up anything from this collection other than possibly the palette. But when I went to Sephora and I started seeing things geared towards mattifying and oil control and things like that, it's right up my alley. I am 42 years old, but I do still have oily combination skin, and I live in a really hot and humid environment. If you're not familiar with my channel, that's something you should know, and that is what appealed to me about this collection. Being a growing and mid-sized YouTube channel and Instagram channel, I don't get sent entire collections from companies yet. I am getting some things here and there, but people with channels like mine have to spend our hard-earned money on things, and so I really think about what really might work for me, my skin, my coloring, and I think about what you guys want to see. We have to be more selective, and that's what I did. So I'm gonna go through and tell you why I purchased what I did, why I didn't purchase what I didn't. I'm gonna go through the look I have on my eyes right now. I also did another more colorful look that I kind of played around with a little bit. I'm gonna try and go through that pretty quickly. Somebody commented on my Instagram, and I've seen similar comments to other YouTubers and on other Instagram pages and stories too, that this is a juvenile collection, or it's geared towards, you know, teens and 20-somethings, that kind of thing. To me, I don't really see that so much. I really like the peach and the gold, and I don't really see it as being juvenile so much as just being lighthearted and fun. I don't really think that just because you are over 20 or in your 30s or 40s or 50s or 60s, that everything has to be serious and sleek and elegant. I think that there's room for lighthearted and fun and springy. I kind of like the packaging, and I really like the kind of bubbled, sleek style that it has. So I don't know. I don't really agree with that, but that's just me. Everybody's got their own opinion. I'll address the scent too really quickly. Everything does have this creamy peach smell. I was wondering how it would wear all over the face if I would just walk around smelling peach all day long. I haven't. I don't. I noticed it when I was putting it on my face, but now, no, I don't notice peach. So that was something I was really concerned about, and so far so good. So I'm gonna go through product by product. I did not purchase the primer because I have a ton of primers. Now, if I start hearing that it's fantastic, I may review it down the line, but that's not something I felt like I needed to purchase right now. I did get the foundation. I am not going to fully review it here because I've only had it a day and I've only had it on my face today. I don't like doing first impressions for foundation at all. I like to do a full thorough review where I've had it on for several days, and so there will be a separate foundation review on the Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. It felt really good on my face. It applied really nicely for being a, does it say it's full coverage? It says that it's a Comfort Matte long-wearing 14-hour formula, photo-friendly, smooth, flawless, and comfortable with a soft focus velvety finish. And it's oil controlling and shine free. And I do feel like I've gotten that from this so far today. And I feel like it looks good. It feels good. I felt like it was mattifying and yet not flat on my face. And I definitely feel like it is medium to full coverage, but it's not heavy. I am very surprised that I liked this foundation. I wasn't expecting to, but I'm always one to try a mattifying foundation. So we shall see how this wears as I test it out. Now, I did set it with the powder and I've used the setting spray. I kind of have the whole gamut going on today except for the primer. So we'll see, but it is comfortable. It did mattify, and it didn't look cakey or heavy. So thumbs up so far. We'll see how it goes over the course of the week. This Setting powder is a talc-based powder. It has talc and cornstarch. It does have some fruit extracts. I have sensitive skin and it hasn't bothered me so far, and I've had it on about half a day. It's a modern comfort matte formula, feather light, slightly tinted, that brightens your skin and smells like a dream. Silky smooth canvas that helps absorb oil and reduce shine throughout the day. I did feel like it set my foundation beautifully, and everything applied really, really nicely over it. My issue with this and with the Too Faced Born This Way setting powder, which I also really love, by the way, I really don't like this little travel-friendly thing they have going on here that flips up. I get it. I get what they're going for, but when you have to actually shake it out, you have to slightly open this and shake it out, and then it gets all over your lap. I don't like that. So I think I'm just gonna cut this off and just have it be messy like half the other setting powders out there. You know, because there's little holes in here that plug this up. You can't shake it with the lid closed. So you have to have it partially opened, and it just leaks everywhere when you're trying to get powder out. So I think they tried to make it travel friendly, but in doing so, it just doesn't make sense. I like the packaging. I think it's really pretty. I like peach. I like gold. I think it's lovely. Yeah. Let's talk about the Peach Blur finishing powder. So I just did 2 videos recently on setting powder and finishing powder, talking about how to use finishing powder, when to use finishing powder versus setting powder. The other one I did on my favorite setting powders, and then I did one on how to set your face. So I'll link those in this video too, because it's confusing if you have oily combination skin on how to set your face to make it last all day and to, you know, not crease up underneath your eyes, all that stuff. This is supposed to be the most magical all-over finishing powder ever created. You can achieve the illusion of perfect skin with advanced optical correcting spheres that help smooth harsh lines and blur imperfections in a translucent peach shade that works on all skin tones. I like finishing powder. I think it can really give a nice blurred, soft focused effect to the skin, and that's what this collection is all about, giving a soft focus effect, mattifying, and looking healthy and not flat. I did like this. I was a little worried about the peach tone, but I think that this is a really nice finishing powder so far. Again, I've only tried it once, so I'm gonna test this out too as the week goes on. It's just light. It's not dry feeling at all. It's not heavy. It's got a slight sheen to it. I might get a lot of use out of this, so I'm gonna keep trying this, but upon first impression, I like it as a finishing powder, and the scent is not overpowering to me. It's peach, but it's not overpowering peach. Now, I did also pick up one of the bronzers. There's a couple of bronzers in this collection. This is the one that looks like a pie, and it combines 4 blendable shades to define, highlight, and sculpt for a radiant complexion. And it's adorable. I mean, come on, it looks like a pie. So, I mean, how cute is that? And I have actually not dipped into this. I'm not planning on dipping into this because I'm putting it in a giveaway along with a palette, and I haven't done the giveaway yet. I'm still compiling things, but I just specifically got this for the giveaway, and I think it's adorable. It says that it's matte. I think that there's an overlay on it because there's some shimmer, but it looks like it's a really nice bronzer. This to me is kind of one of the key pieces of the collection. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have noticed that I have some white flecks on my hands. I'll talk about that in a second. I have this Peach Mist Mattifying Setting Spray here, and this says it is a peach and sweet fig cream infused setting spray. It locks down makeup with a comfort matte finish and helps control oil for a weightless feel that lasts all day. You're supposed to shake it well. The typical setting spray, hold it 6 to 8 inches from your face and mist directly onto the skin. I thought I shook it well, but I ended up with some little white flecks on my skin that I had to buff away with my finger. So immediately after I did that, I didn't shake it, and I just sprayed it directly onto this hand. And you can see the white flecks there. I hope you can, the white speckles. Then I shook it up and I sprayed it onto this hand, and I think you can see some white there, and a lot came out. It was really, really, really wet. So then I shook it again, and I just sprayed one light mist onto my arm here. And I think you can see maybe one white dot there, and that's it. You really have to shake this up really, really well. And you should do that with any setting spray, but this is really the only setting spray that I have encountered personally where I have had this many instances with this white stuff. Now, even having shaken this up extremely well, I still had a couple of white dots that, had that been my face, I would have to just dust it off with my finger. Now it does dust away. That's probably just a dot that was a little too thick. It comes out pretty well. It's not droplets, but there are a couple places that do get a little thick, so it's just something to be aware of. Now, that said, I like it. I like how it looks on the skin. It mattifies, but without looking flat, and it doesn't feel sticky or tight, which is weird because alcohol is one of the first ingredients in this. I actually didn't purchase this. Then I read a couple of reviews, I think on Sephora, and went back and got it. I am not one to use a setting spray every day. I use it mostly for special occasions or if it's really, really hot and humid outside. I'm actually not reviewing a foundation that has alcohol as the third ingredient because it's a high-end foundation. I think it's absurd to put alcohol as the third ingredient in a high-end luxury foundation when there are such great ingredients out there. Now, a setting spray, a mattifying setting spray, it's a little bit different because a lot of them use alcohol. That's just kind of what you get with most mattifying setting sprays. So I'm going to keep trying this, but it looks good. This is the palette. Oh, I think I got my setting spray on the palette. So this is the palette. It's really cute, just peachy. And it's warm. If you are over warm palettes, you might not like this. I love it. I think it's beautiful. And I have been playing around with it a little bit. I'm actually going to have swatches on my blog of the palette and of each shade, comparing it to shades in other Too Faced palettes. So, you know, let's take Peach Meringue right here. I've actually taken this shade, swatched it, and compared it to other cream buttery shades in this palette in Sweet Peach to see how similar they are, just to see if you have maybe other Too Faced palettes that might suffice, but to see if you need this. Now, I personally didn't see a lot of crossover from the palettes that I have, but you can go over there and look and see. So if you look at the size of the palette, it actually doesn't cross over with any other Too Faced palette. So here is your Natural Eyes palette, and you can see the size of that. And then here is your Chocolate Bar Sweet Peach palette size. So prior to this launch, I've actually been playing around with Sweet Peach a little bit, and I've really been re-enjoying Sweet Peach. And there are some differences. I feel like Just Peachy Mattes is a little bit more warm and vibrant than Sweet Peach. So there's the two palettes. And I'm going to swatch something for you guys really quick. I always think it's really funny when a company has the same shade, name, and palettes, and it's completely different. Here's Peaches and Cream from Just Peachy Mattes. Here's Peaches and Cream from Sweet Peach. Not the same whatsoever. Here's Just Peachy from Just Peachy Mattes. Here is Just Peachy from Sweet Peach. That's just so odd to me how different those shades are. I don't know why they even named them the same thing. Maybe they've addressed it. I don't know if you guys have seen this or anything, but I just find that so incredibly strange. This is the top row: Peach Meringue, Peach Tea, Peach Cobbler, and Peach Tart. The second row: Peach Butter, Just Peachy, Peach Punch, and Just Ripe. And the third row: Peaches and Cream, Fresh Picked, Peach Sangria, and Chocolate Dipped. So all in all, for a matte warm palette, I think this is absolutely beautiful. The quality is really nice. I feel like I've gotten some nice looks out of it. There's nice variety. The one shade that I was really concerned about when I was swatching was this Peach Sangria shade. It was really sheer and patchy and had some kick up, but on the lid, it worked pretty well. I actually was going for one look when I was doing my colorful look, and then I completely changed it around and kind of spazzed out a little bit with the look and went a little crazy because I wanted to see how this actually worked on the lid. So I feel like you kind of have everything covered here. A nice selection to choose from, 4 transition shades. You have a highlight, you have lid shades, you have crease colors, outer corner, outer V, crease colors. I've lined with these. You can do a lot with this palette, and you know, of course, the one thing it really doesn't have is that matte black color. I think they maybe just didn't want it to be a complete dupe of Sweet Peach. What I like is that it's different enough from Sweet Peach that you could use these in conjunction with each other and not duplicate much. You know, I did find some duplicates or some things that were kind of close, and you could see that on the swatches on my blog, which is linked below. But overall, I feel like you could really get some nice looks using both of these palettes, and I like having the option of having all matte. It's really nice. I really don't think he could be more relaxed than he is. But overall, I feel like the shadows apply nicely, they're creamy, they're blendable, they're all the good adjectives that a shadow should be. I was very concerned, like I said, with the Peach Sangria shade, but it turned out to be really nice. If you're looking for a warm matte palette, this is a great palette, and it's a great size to travel with too. Sometimes I really just don't want a big, long palette when I'm traveling, and I would much rather have something that's a little more compact, and this fits the bill nicely. And it's something a little bit different than a matte neutral palette, and I appreciate that too. I told you why I didn't get the primer, and I didn't get the blushes because I have blushes that I use and love a lot, and I have cream blushes that I use and like as well, and I have plenty of bronzers and highlighters. I didn't get lipsticks because my Sephora only had 4 shades, and they were terribly unflattering for me. They had 2 very cool toned hot pinks and 1 deep purple that was also cool toned, and they had 1 whitish nude color that would have just looked like I put concealer on my lips. So that is all I had to choose from for lipsticks. I do love the packaging for the lipsticks, and I've heard the formula is wonderful. So I do plan on getting some when my Sephora actually gets some decent shades in. So that's why I didn't get any lipsticks. And that's what I got from the Peaches and Cream collection from Too Faced. I hope you enjoyed this overview and this first impression. I will again have the foundation review up for the foundation very shortly. So thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you're not following me on social media, I'll put that on the screen and down below. See you next time. Bye-bye.